Welcome, everybody. My name is Michael van Bakel. I'm the head of marketing, Syngenta Flowers APAC. I'm based in the Netherlands. It's here now 9 o'clock in the morning on a very sunny Tuesday. With me is Renate Bos, our digital marketing expert and moderator for this session. And the man of the hour, Ivan Posniakov from Thailand, where it is now 2 p.m. in the afternoon. This is the second webinar in a series where we do a deep dive into technology for producing gerberas. Ivan, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. My name is Ivan Pesnikov, and I'm a technical specialist for South Asia and Southeast Asia in APAC region. And thank you very much for my introduction. And I very glad to start with the second session of the webinar. And I very appreciate to all attendees and all who join our webinar today. And so let's start. Before I start to explain what's going with Gerbera after transplanting, I would like to remind what we discussed formerly. Last session we discussed the opportunity with our very huge assortment of Gerbera. Not many companies, of course, except of companies specialized on Gerbera. Not other companies has a so huge assortment of Gerbera. We have 4 series. 3 of them, it is entire series with about 7 till 12 varieties in each. And Elephant is exceptional variety with a very huge flowers, which able to performs well in landscaping. And so with different type of varieties, you have too many opportunities to explore Gerbera in different type of the pots. And later on, I will explain about how you can use and how many plants you can use in the different type of the containers. Another one, I would like to remind you, don't forget about the prepare for the sowing and to prepare everything to get a success with our Gerbera seeds. Later on, don't forget the one sentence. Keep your seeds in proper condition and of course, start with the clean condition and continue with the clean rules. So don't forget about phytosanitary. And other topics we discussed formerly is a germination stage and the topics, technical topics concerning to germination stage. I would like to remind you 3 main things and 3 main secrets about Gerbera. If you follow these secrets, you will get always success with the Gerbera. First one, never overwatering your Gerbera. As you start to apply watering with the fertilizer, don't try to use clear water for Gerbera. And second one, don't forget about the pH sensitivity of Gerbera. Gerbera is a made to say acid-like crop. It's not for sure not alkaline like crop. So that's why please keep media or substrate in a rather lower pH than for average than you use for many other crops. The pH rate should be in the rate between 5.5 till 5.8. And another topics, don't forget the Gerbera has a crown structure. It's a very famous crop. So we called it crown crop. And of course, it's concerning to anatomy specific of this crop. This crop has a very short stem and it forms structure called crown or called rosette because very too many leaves attached to short stem very closely to each other. And if you remember these 3 secrets, you will never and of course everything has happened, but if you remember these 3 secrets, you never get failed with a Gerbera. And let's start with a proper material for Gerbera. Now we turn into transplanting stage of the Gerbera crop, because formerly we discussed the vegetation during the seedling stage and during the young plant stage. And today we can imagine we already transplanted our Gerbera into the pots, and here we have to revise what kind of material we need to use for Gerbera to get a success. First one, check substrate quality. When we're talking about substrate quality, we're talking about in general about pH and EC. Of course, we have to remember about other characteristics like structure of substrate, like components of the substrate, and for sure, not forget that Gerbera likes very porous substrate. At least 30% of the substrate should made from the air porous. Of course, Gerbera is pH sensitivity crop, as I mentioned formerly. So that's why please check your substrate properties before you start to apply to Gerbera. Check pH and EC. This is a very easily way how to avoid many problems with Gerbera. So pH should be at the level, as I said, 5.5 till 5.8. It is possible to little bit increase pH up to 6, but not cross the level 6, because Gerbera start to get a problem with the availability of some elements. Gerbera, it's very sensitive crop to moisture excess. Don't make them to be thirsty, and don't make Gerbera to get a lot of water. Another point, it's a pot size, proper pot size. In the table, in the below this slides, you can find what kind of varieties can fit properly which size of the pot. Here you can see it is able to apply different type of varieties and all type of the varieties for the different type of crops. But if you use this table, you easily to understand how many plants you need to put in the pots to prepare a nice condition for the growth, and to prepare and to get the nice plant quality in the final stage. So the Jaguar able to use even for 30 centimeters containers, but if you apply 4 till 5 plants per one container, you will get better results rather than you use just only 3 plants there. This is how you can use this table. And of course, substrate should be very porous, as I said formerly. So that's why be sure that all materials that you use for Gerbera and all condition following these main rules. And let's go to the transplanting. What we have to remember about the transplanting the crop. This is newly transplanted crop. You can see in the picture from the right side. It's not very arranged and arranged with a very huge or very long distance between each other. So it just transplanted. And what you have to remember and what you should follow, what kind of rules you should follow to be successful within a transplanting stage, because this is a very critical. Please remember one thing, that Gerbera is a crown crop. This is made to say that queen of the crops. Yeah, it's have specific, so that's why it have a specific approach and it have specific treatment for them. But this specific treatment not very difficult, and not very difficult to remember this. What's the critical? Don't put Gerbera root very deeply into the substrate. Not press and not adjust the substrate level too much during the transplantation. Use substrate moisture in the not very high level during transplanting. Level should be between alternate between 2 and 3 level of the moisture. Explanation you can find in the small picture below, of the slides. And don't compress substrate too much, because if you compress it very strong, you reduce the porosity of the substrate, and you don't plant will be not able to provide to get enough quantity of oxygen to root development. And so if you follow all these advices, there is not too many advices, but if you not forget about these advices, you will get good growth and you will get good performance of the Gerbera even in vegetative stage. And let's go on the topics. Let's follow the topics which I would like to advise for Gerbera. Provide very comfortable apartment for your plants. So if we remind the picture on the slide I showed you formerly, Gerbera should be put on the tables, because tables able to provide, if you put the plant container on the tables, you're able to provide nice ventilation and nice oxygen availability to the substrate in the pots. So continue to keep the plants with a clean area. I would like to remind what's mean clean area. Clean area, it's mean remove all plant residuals on the all the time when you finish the work with the plant. Just continue to interrupt work if you see if something happened improperly. Don't allow the people who is not involved into production process to go through greenhouses, and to avoid transportation any goods through the greenhouses. So phytosanitary condition should be kept in high level, and so if you keep it properly, you will not receive any big issue with diseases and with any pests. And so not give a chance to the pests. You should follow all these advices I told about the phytosanitary. And one interesting and tricky approach you can apply in the greenhouse to make it more comfortable, to not only for the Gerbera, it's to cover all the areas in the greenhouse, all the ground level in the greenhouse, with the plastic. It will give you a chance to interrupt propagation of the thrips, because the thrips, as it require a dormant stage, and this dormant stage happened below the ground level. So if you have open ground level, open soil areas, thrips will be able to proceed this dormant stage. So if you cover, it has no chance to go and to dig down below the ground level, and to go through this dormant stage. And so by this way you will interrupt the thrips propagation. It's very simple thing, honestly, but it can help you a lot, because you not need to apply a lot of chemicals, because the chemicals, honestly, it's poisons not only for the animals, but it's a little bit injure the plants as well. So the less you apply the chemicals, the less you damage the plants as well. So let's go to the other condition you should provide, and you should keep in mind if you would like to offer Gerbera nice condition. It is a lighting. As I explained formerly, Gerbera is not a day length sensitivity crop, but Gerbera requires two very high and rather high level of the light intensity. It is better to keep light intensity between 40,000 till 60,000 lux. Sorry, here is a mistake. It should be not kilolux, it should be lux. And it means it's called partial sun shade areas. So this level of the light, it's not very high. Honestly, some crop requires even higher level of the light intensity. But if you're able to provide even 60 or 70 lux for your plants, it would be even better. So let's place for the crop top position or top place for your crop. What does mean? It's mean, as I say, as I explained formerly, and I display it in a slide, in a previous slide. You see the many growers put the Gerbera on the table. So the table position can apply in the two, because of two causes. Sorry, because of two reasons. First reasons is to hang up the plants beneath the soil level, just because this will provide Gerbera in more phytosanitary condition. And second thing, this kind of position apply enough ventilation for the Gerbera and enough amount of oxygen. And next one, let your plant breathe and eat easily. Honestly, if we are talking about eating, many growers mostly concentrate their attention on the mineral food. But in reality, more than 10% of the wet weight of the plants is organic matter. And organic matter mostly came from the photosynthesized reaction. What happened in the plant in a light condition, and it is plant during this synthesized reaction, plant uptake CO2, and the most of carbohydrates came from CO2. Here I specifically provide the reaction. It's made to say summarized reaction of photosynthesis, and you can see the main source of the plant weight is CO2. So honestly, plant eating not minerals from the water, plant eating mostly CO2. So if you provide nice breath to the plant can get CO2 more easily, and it provide for itself carbohydrates for to nice bloom and to nice performance. So we prepared a nice place for Gerbera. We already transplanted it, and now we are going to topic, very critical topic that help you to avoid the problem. Once again, well-aerated substrate will provide a nice root growth. If the plant has a very healthy plant will grow better. And if you get a nice root growth, you will achieve nice plant performance. So supply any condition which can provide well root growth. So plants should be sorted. Why I mentioned here so not obvious items, just only because if you apply together plant with a different size, or if you stack together plant with a different size, you cannot provide proper watering and equal watering for other plants, because just because of simple thing, smaller plant requires smaller amount of water and any other factors to their growth. So and of course the main factor is water ability. So if you put together high developed plant and the smaller plant, you're not able to provide each plant with the proper amount of watering and proper amount of air circulation in this area. So that's why I advise keep in mind about the sorting the plants. Please stack together bigger plant and keep in separate area more smaller plant, so it will be the plant. If you apply this kind of sorting, you will be able to provide them for all of the plants a proper amount of watering. Please be sure that your containers have enough drainage holes. It's also critical for Gerbera because drainage holes provide not only oxygen, and that provides normal water dripping, and it can help to avoid water excess on the plants. In the right lower picture, you can find what can happen if the plant get excess of water. You can see the plant can even show the chlorosis symptoms. Honestly, this chlorosis not derived from deficiency iron of any elements. It's mostly derived from the overwatering. And of course, poor root condition, poor root development will not be able to provide. I mean, if the plant gets more poor root development, they not will provide some of micro elements well then rather than the plants get with the normal roots. So it not only symptoms can appear on the Gerbera. In the first part of this session, I explained that sometimes leaf curving can be caused by the overwatering. So that's why overwatering is very critical. And so that is why I explain and keep your attention enough on enough drainage holes and on enough drainage condition in the substrate. Bench surface with a good drainage. So what's mean? Please pay attention on the shape or on the material of the table surface on the on the left picture. In the left picture, you can see a lot of holes on the table. This kind of covering and this kind of material can provide better ventilation and can provide better drainage for the roots. So that's why it is, of course, it's able to use the plastic covering of the table, but with a specific ribs which can provide normal drainage. And good water scheduling. What's mean good water scheduling? When we're talking about the water scheduling, we're talking about how often we apply the water and how much we apply the water. Formerly, I explained we should be Gerbera should take the water and substrate should be kept on the level between 2 till 3. So that's what I mean when we're talking about watering level and how often to apply the water. It's interesting question, and sometimes it's most difficult question because grower try to avoid in general in their habit they try to avoid make to plant thirsty. But Gerbera, please remember that Gerbera mostly afraid about overwatering. Then they afraid about the less of the water, about deficiency of the water. So one rules can help you how to organize good water scheduling. Let's substrate keep bit dry between two watering, between when the plants get previous watering. Let substrate be dry out normally, and after this you can apply the water. And another tricky items that I would like to mention here: don't apply water in the evening time or afternoon. For Gerbera, it's very critical. If you apply the water in the evening time, the plant gets stretching and plant get symptoms of overwatering as well. Okay, if you get too much water, just change your water scheduling. Let's go to the general fertigation items, to general fertigation tips. On the right picture in the bottom of the slide, you can see very how to say the terrible symptoms. I mean to say very terrible symptoms of the iron and magnesium deficiency. Honestly, it can happen even if you apply plants with a normal amount of iron and magnesium in the fertilizer. But Gerbera, as a pH sensitive crop, I will recall it again and I will repeat it again and again, because I would like this message will follow you every time when you're talking about the Gerbera. Just provide them proper substrate pH, and you will avoid so terrible and critical situation as you can see on the right picture. So if you provide normal pH level, many of elements will be available for Gerbera in normal amount. So if the grower will apply the water many times, or not checking the substrate pH, and substrate reach up the pH higher than 6.2, you will find the symptoms you can observe in the right bottom picture. And prepare nice mineral food for the plants. What's mean nice mineral food? Just pay attention on the NPK composition, not only total amount of the fertilizers, but please pay attention to rate of the NPK. What I would like to be concentrated on, this is a phosphorus level. Phosphorus level shouldn't be high. Not very good combination like 15, 15, 15 or 18, 18, 18. This kind of fertilizer has too much phosphorus. So that's why it's better to apply the good composition like 15, 5, 15 or even 18, 5, 15. In the, excuse me. So, as because we're talking about a vegetative stage, when the plant developing, we need to provide them even a little bit more nitrogen than potassium. So that's why I mentioned here composition of NPK like 18, 5, 15. So it will help and it will promote better leaf growth and better vegetative growth to let the plants get more carbohydrates, to store more carbohydrates, to provide later better budding and better flowering. So now we prepare and plant to feed well with a photosynthesis process, and we provide them to get more organic compounds with the photosynthesis process, with addition of with adding a little bit more nitrogen when we normally provide it. And Gerbera likes to eat, honestly, and so that's why EC in the water, in the in the watering solution should be not less than 1.7. It is able to provide even when you just start to transplant it, and after transplanting, you not to keep EC lower than 1.7. Sometimes it's necessary to be checked. Just because, for instance, if you get not very optimal light condition, for instance, cloudy weather can happen every time. So if the plant faced the light deficiency, it cannot uptake too many elements. So that's why I advise to check EC in the substrate. EC in the substrate easily to check with a watering extract. If you take half volume of the substrate, dissolve in the half volume of the depleted water, and after 15 minutes you can measure pH and EC, of course. And if you see the EC increased higher than 1.7, in general 2.0, if you see this situation, you have to decrease EC in the water in the water solution. So, and never apply, and once again, never apply clean water. Even if this water coming from the fogging system. If you apply the fogging system, provide this screens, or provide that size of the droplets which cannot reach the surface of the leaves of the plant leaves. So let's go to the vegetation stage and AC and pH control. As I explained before, why it's necessary to check time to time pH and EC is just because any condition cannot be always in, we cannot control and we cannot manage all condition in optimal level. For instance, we always depends, and this condition always depends on the weather, which is came to this region, to your region. So that's why sometimes different type of condition can affect on the growth, on your plant's growth. If for instance, if the plant get much more sun than normally, they start to grow stronger because they get more energy to the growth and get more organic matter with the photosynthesis process. If the plant get less light level, so plant growth start to slowing down. So that's why it always necessary to check EC in pH. And taste soup before you offer to the guests. This is main rule. What I mean if I talking about taste soup, it's mean check EC in pH in the water before you apply to the plant. This is simple things. For instance, if you invite the guests into your room, if you not taste your soup and you get too much salt there, I think your guest will be not happy with this kind of soup. So that the same with the plants. But honestly, plant cannot tell you anything about water quality and the food right now, when you supply them. So that's why plant able to tell you only when they show you symptoms of some kind of a physiological problem. And when the plants show the symptom, this kind of symptoms, it means the plant is in the already in the critical situation. And so try to try to avoid apply the specific treatment like spraying with micro elements, because the spraying micro elements of course can help you to avoid the problem like chlorosis and problem with iron and magnesium deficiency. But this type of application already means the plant too much injured, and this kind of application can be considered like a ambulance treatment, already like an ambulance treatment. So try to avoid this, and these simple rules will help to avoid this situation. So test soup before you before you offer to the guests. So it means test EC and pH in the water before you start to water in the plants. And the next thing, check EC and pH in the substrate, because substrate we also can consider and can look at the substrate like at the dish. If the plant healthy, plant needs to be fed well. In this case, plant will take everything from the plate, and it will be always hungry. And if you can see the EC in the substrate will be dropped down than the 0.5 or then even 0.4, it means plant very hungry. Plant can eat everything from the dish, from the plate, sorry. If the plant not healthy, plant cannot eat everything, and the rest of the food will stay on the plate. So, and the rest of the salts, I translate into the agro-technical terms. In the rest of and in the substrate, like in the plate, you will see increasing the rest of the fertilizer, and you will see increasing of the EC. So that's why necessary to check at least on the weekly basis EC and the pH in the substrate. If you make it regularly, you can see any changes and you can apply treatment. So if you see increasing of the pH, you can decrease a little bit pH level in the water, solution. If you see deficiency of the salts in the substrate, or I mean the deficiency of the salt, it means EC less than 0.5. You need to increase fertilizer amount in the water. Or if you see increasing up to high level 2.1 of EC, you have to decrease EC level in the watering. So we provided plants with a nice food, and it start to grow. And what we can see later on, let's make the plant happy. The plant happy when it get enough light and enough food. Formerly, in last slide, we talked about the mineral food, and now we turning back to providing plant with the CO2, with the food with the CO2. So provide a plant ventilation, and the best a best approach how to increase the ventilation is to provide good spacing between the pots, between the plants. And one sentence can help you to remember about how to keep the plants in the normal ventilation level, in the normal food level, not let them, this sentence will help provide plant with a normal space. Let plant to talk, but not let plant to touch each other. What does it mean? If the plants start to touch, just would like to touch with each other with a leaf, it means it's ready to be spacing. And in the right bottom picture, you can see the proper space between the pots. It just it just transplanted, or sorry, it just spaced when it start to grow and it start to expand the leaves behind the edge of the pots. So this kind of arrangement plan can provide the plants with a nice ventilation and can provide enough space to form little bit more mounded plants with a nice performance of the leaves, because Gerbera should be I mean the leaves volume and the flowers should be in the balance. If you have too big flowers with the smaller leaves, it shouldn't be looks like how to say it, like it's good present. Instead, in the upside down situation, if the plant have too much leaf but not have a flower bud, it's also not nice. So if you provide enough space, it can avoid to stretching leaves and to get too much leaves with too big and too high volume of the leaves in the plants. So we supply plant with the food. We supply plant with a space, and now we are turning to diseases, because of course even if we provide very nice greenhouses, very technical I mean we're very good equipped greenhouses, we not able to avoid on 100% invites of the pests and the disease into greenhouse. And here I would like to mention the main and the dangerous insects that can damage plant too much and too strong. First one is thrips, and second of them is leaf miners. Please scout every time what's happened with the diseases, and checking the plants and every day. If you are able to check plants even every day, please do it, because when early you find pests and diseases, that then early you're able to start to fight with them and to protect your plant from this kind of diseases. So what will help you to avoid leaf miner and thrips damage? For the thrips, it's better to cover, I already mentioned this item, it's better to cover all open ground level in the greenhouse with a plastic to interrupt life cycle of the thrips. Keep the rotation program quite strong. What's mean? It's mean not keep the same plant on this greenhouse. If you apply if you put the Gerbera always in the same area in the greenhouse without gaps, without other crops between these, it will promote the thrips level. And if you scouting the shake flour to the paper, to the paper or to the hands, just like turn it upside down and just shake it on the hands to scouting the trips. It will help you to find the trips in the time, and it will help you to start apply chemicals against the trips in the time. So what's about life manners? The most critical things to use always scouting every time, and to use the how to say it, checking of the leaves and to apply the chemical in the time when you even see first things of the life miners. Even if you found it in neighbors' greenhouses, you can start as much as early to apply the chemicals on the plants which injured and which already get life miners worms. Okay, this slide talking about the advices concerning to phytosanitary, and this kind of phytosanitary will help you to avoid problem with the pests as well. And what you need to keep in mind that not only chemicals will help you, and not only application of any compounds will help you to fight against the miners and fight against the trips. There are some kind of quite simple approaches which will help you to avoid problem with any diseases or any pests and diseases. First one is to prevent insect infestation of the greenhouse. Please apply some simple thing like sticky traps. You can see here in the picture. Another thing is cleaning, keep clean greenhouse. I mean, it's to not forget to remove any weeds from the corner and keep greenhouse floor clear from rest of the and residuals of the plants. Keep your substrate in normal water level, not overwatering the gerbera. Not only physiologically problem you can get in a gerbera if you apply if you will overwater your plants. Another thing, you will promote development of the some insects which can injure the plants, like cerids and like fungus gnats that can damage the roots and can get and can bring a problem to gerbera growth. So the main message from these slides is to keep phytosanitary in a high level as much as it possible. And there is a simple thing like application of the this kind of sticky traps. It's a phytosanitary. It's prevention of the any material transition from the greenhouse, and any people transition of the from this greenhouse. It can help you to provide the plants from the any diseases. And let's go to diseases. Formerly we talked about the pests, and now we turn into diseases. The main problem on gerbera can be found with the three main diseases critical for gerbera. It's powdery mildew, rhizoctonia, and pythium. Pythium is a diseases which can appear on the roots. So if you keep the roots in the proper condition, you can easily avoid the pythium, and you can easily avoid the problem with the root rots. And rhizoctonia as well, mostly infested the part of the plants which is taking the soil surface. But the main tool to promote the plant health and to provide a healthy condition is to, of course, application of the chemicals. Not forget to make a treatment, preliminary treatment before you find any things of the disease of the damage from the fungus and from the bacteria. So here you can find the chemicals. It is possible to apply against the diseases listed in the left side of this table. Here I mentioned botrytis, pythium, rhizoctonia, and powdery mildew. This is a main critical diseases and fungus can be observed on the Gerbera. And please, I will not take a lot of time to explain what kind of the chemicals you should apply because you can find and you can read it in this table. But I would like to focus your attention on two things. First things, please check availability into your market. It's please follow any restriction which can find in the your country. And another thing, don't forget about phytotoxicity of the any components of the chemicals, because if you follow even if you follow any recommendation you can find in the labels, sometime growing condition cannot provide enough plant health to the to your plants to I would say to hold this concentration of the chemicals. So that's why to check, is this chemical appropriate to your plants, and or is you can get any damage to your plants with this chemical, please use the phytotoxicity test. What's mean? Take 5 till 10 plants in a separate area and apply with the chemicals on these five or 10 plants, and you will when you check it and you will see that plants grow well and the plants not get any damage, you can apply chemicals on all other plants. It will help you to avoid any mistakes with the chemical application. And this is main critical thing you can keep in mind when you apply the chemicals, not only in Gerbera, on all the crops as well. Okay, we supply Gerbera with a nice material, with a nice food, with a perfect area, with a perfect greenhouse, and now the plants is ready to bloom. And we, of course, we have protected them from the plants from the pests and diseases. And what we should be concentrated on in the tips, and what should we think on the tips when we preparing the plant to the bloom. The first thing, it's continue to follow production scheduling. So it means check the time when the plant is ready for the blooming. And so if it start to budding, let's little bit adjust fertigation NPK rate and fertigation schedule. What I mean, it's better to when the potassium will be increased in the fertigation in the fertilizer contain. What kind of NPK rate should be applied in the budding stage? When what's mean budding stage? Budding stage means when the buds already visible in the middle of the crown, in the middle of the rosette of between the Gerbera leaves. If you see the flower bud, you can turn your NPK to this kind of level, like 15,520, 15,570. So it means potassium rate should be higher on 1.5 or even 2 times than nitrogen rate. And so continue to check pH and EC in the water, in the water solution that you apply to the plants. And of course, in weekly base, check EC in pH in the substrate, because the longer plants growth in the same substrate, the more critical EC in pH level for the plant health, because the substrate during the plant growth can be changed. It can be particularly decay, and any chemicals which can how to say it, outcome from the roots can be changed chemical property of a substrate, and the water application can be also change substrate properties. Like for instance, if you apply little water with a little higher pH when the average level, the pH in the substrate will be increased from one watering to another. It will be slightly increased every day, every week. And if you're not checking it in the weekly basis, you can miss the time when pH will go to the critical level. So that's why not forget to check in EC and pH in the substrate in the when the plant, especially when on the final stage of the plant. And in the table you can see timing of the plants for each varieties. And this table can help you understand when the plants already came to blooming. And this table will help you to understand when you need to turn apply chemicals from the vegetative stage to generative stage. I mean, when you need with this table, you can understand when you need. Formally, it's happened. In general, it's happened for 3 weeks early of the final stage of the blooming stage. Yeah, and at this time you have to turn chemicals, I mean to turn fertilizer from vegetative fertilizer to generative fertilizer with a higher amount of the potassium. And so the plants already bloom. All these items I mentioned here, of course you can keep in mind, but keep in mind the most critical thing which concern to Gerbera is pH sensitive crop, is crown crop, and this crop sensitive to overwatering. I think this presentation will help you to achieve better results for your plants, and will help to avoid any kind of problems. If you have any question, please contact to a local key account manager, and please visit our site if you need more information. So thank you for your attention. And I think we have some question on the chat. Maybe.
Yes, thank you, Ivan. For all attendees, please be aware that there is a Q&A button at the bottom of your screen where you are able to send in questions. Feel free to do so. We will keep the line open for a couple of minutes more. We need to end in time. At this moment, there are no questions for Ivan yet, but feel free to type a question in the chat. Thank you.
And maybe I would like to explain the I recall one question from previous part about calcium deficiency. Honestly, calcium deficiency cannot bring the symptoms like I showed in the seedling stage, like it looks like oedema. Calcium deficiency can brought the narrow-shaped leaf, but not with curling edges, not spoon-shaped leaf. It mostly brings a kind of necrosis, and with the calcium, almost in general, there is no any problem with the calcium because mostly the calcium contained in the water mostly cannot be too low, because normally in the all water sources there are two some kind of mineral elements already, and the calcium normally already contains in the fresh water. I mean in the water from sources that are applied for the watering. To reach the calcium deficiency, it's need to apply distillated water or water from the rain collected from the roof of greenhouse, or collected from the rain, and not apply calcium nitrate in the fertilizer anytime. Only in this case it's able to reach calcium deficiency with the Gerbera.
Thank you very much, Ivan. And with that, I think we can wrap up this second session of the Gerbera technical webinars. I'd like to thank Ivan for another compelling story. Thank you, Renate, for hosting the session. And thank you for all the attendees to listen, and feel free to cascade the recordings that we will share momentarily. And as Ivan has mentioned, feel free to reach out to your key account manager or to Ivan personally. I wish you a very nice day and take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.